All right, Mr. Mars has a biggest car museums, Mr. Mars. I guess he
I
doesn't.
can't hear you, Mike.
No, we can't hear him. Is he even on with us?
Hello.
We can't hear you, Mike.
Yeah, okay. My bad.
Okay.
I was communicating with David. Sorry.
All right, so it's time now for, as I mentioned, your biggest car museums.
Yeah, I just thought that with all this weather impacting the whole country, some people
Let's
might be
go
looking for
somewhere.
You have to do it.
Yeah, get out, get about. So, the Gilmore Car Museum in Hickory Corners, Michigan. Now, this is one of the largest museums in North America. It's set on a 90-acre campus. It's got over 400 vehicles that run from the brass era cars up through the classic American iron and even into post-war icons. There's a lot of different buildings, and they're all got some of them dedicated to the Cadillacs, Pierce Arrow, the Model A Ford, and even some others that you can kind of walk around between them and see how the different history blends in. There's another one up in Tacoma, Washington, and I've actually been to this one. It's the LeMay, America's Car Museum. It's, again, these are one of the largest automotive museums. They've got 350 vehicles, and it's really a very modern-looking architecture, and it's all designed and drawn from the Harold LeMay's collection. Now, this is his personal collection over the years, and that's how he built this museum. They have different displays that rotate in and out, and they do a lot of educational things for people, including industry and personal freedom that shows how the American have dealt with the automotive through the years. Then you get into what probably is the most famous one, the Petersen Automotive Museum in Los Angeles, California. Now, I went to this one once, and it was under construction. So I got to go into the basement, and I got to see about what's on the screen, and that's about it. But it's a big place. They have over 100 vehicles on display all the time. They specify, or they look a lot at the automotive design, engineering, and motorsports. So they kind of bring a lot of stuff in and out. Hollywood cars are very easy to get to. A lot of concept vehicles here. It's really one of the more famous museums in the country. But one of the ones that I'm most impressed with was the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation. And it really goes into a lot of things. It's really America. But the automobile sections of it, it just goes from beginning to end. I mean, and it just got everything from the Model Ts, historic race cars, presidential vehicles. I mean, there is just so much there that you just can't see it all in a day. I think Don and I were there for less than a day, and it was just amazing the amount of stuff that's in there regarding transportation and manufacturing. Then the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. Now, this is, of course, in Speedway, Indiana. It's inside the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and it's all about motorsports. And it's got a collection of the Indy 500 winners. Got some legendary race cars, some pace cars, a lot of the trophies, a lot of things about the race itself. But it's also got more than that, as it considers the automotive motorsports across the country. So if you're a race car fan, this is the museum that you really want to go see. So that'd be like 5 museums across the country that you might be able to get out to if you get tired of all this rotten weather we're having.
Yep.
There's that. Okay, time now for a break. All right, time now for this hour's car review. I had a chance to drive the all-new 2026 Polestar 4 dual motor. Now, let me go back here just for a moment, because when Polestar began a few years ago, it was under the Volvo umbrella. Well, that ended a long time ago, and I was not aware of that because I had to do my research. Who builds the Polestar? It's a company called Geely Motors, Geely, Geely Motors, China. It comes in several versions, the Polestar 2, 3, and 4. I had the 4 that had dual motors. You can get it with a single motor because it's all electric. Standard electric SUV is what the government calls it. Seats including the driver, 5. Built in South Korea with 96% Chinese parts. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. Maybe they just needed another assembly plant. Hey, we've got one open over here in South Korea, so we'll build it over here. But 96% Chinese parts. Can you tell the difference? I can't tell the difference. So whatever, it's all new. Exterior features. There's no rear window. What?
That's coming.
No, there's no rear window. If you want to look out the back, you've got a back camera back there. Um, it sounds like it's weird looking, but from the back, if you're looking at the vehicle from the back, it doesn't look weird. How they did that paint and the way that they've got, there's a good picture of it right there. It looks like it's got a rear window, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. So forget that. Split headlights, horizontal split in the headlights, interesting and cool. Stylish horizontal taillights that kind of go along with the headlights. It does have a glass roof and there is no shade. Now, obviously, I drove it a couple of weeks ago and the weather was just fine. And I got a little tip of the fact that I parked it for about an hour, total sunshine, and I got in, it was a little warm in there. Well, because it was turned off, okay? If you turn it on, it's got one of those roofs that dims. It has, when it sees the sunlight, when it's running, it dims. It kind of like a tint is on it. It's really cool. Now, how it works like that, I don't know, but I drove it basically in the early morning and after the sun went down. So that's something that you might want to consider, especially here in Houston, Texas, where we are. It could be a problem without a kind of shade up there. Again, what could use improvement? Shade for the glass roof. Interior highlights. 15.4-inch center display.
Oh, wow.
You know how big that is? That's huge.
15.4 inches.
Yes. It has a Scandinavian style minimalist design. And you'll have to do the research on it because where you would normally have knobs and buttons and that sort of stuff, no, you got to go to the screen.
Knobs?
Knobs. It could be knobs, sure. Awesome materials throughout. It's well laid out. It's really kind of cool if you get into it. But you know, I know that I'm an older guy and I kind of like some knobs for certain things like volume on the radio.
You're coming back.
Yeah, well, and that's the new thing is they realized that, not everybody's all into that. Cargo trunk room, small with the rear seats up, as you can imagine. What I like about it, it's cool environment inside when you get in it. But it could use improvement. Again, some buttons to control often used features. The problem here lies that eyes have to go off the road to locate the functions via a screen. And stop, think about that. I think that you'll agree with me. For many of the functions, it's really not necessary other than to clean up the dashboard. Engine, dual electric motors that turn out 544 horsepower and 506 pound-feet of torque. Transmission, none. Direct drive. Range, 310 miles. Tell you about more of that in just a second. Miles per gallon range in the city, 90. Highway, 80. For a combined of 85 miles per gallon E.
Wow.
I don't know how many miles, but I did have to stop and put a DC charge on it that cost me $35 and took almost an hour out of my day. That's a problem for me personally. What could use improvement? A level 2 charger in my garage would be nice. So next time you send me one of those down to drive, please install that charger in the garage. Make it a lot easier for me. Ride and handling, nice ride, although like other electrics, it felt heavy. What could use improvement? I don't know. Rode pretty good, I guess, overall. Base trim price, $62,900. Prices tested, $67,400. You can get in one of these for a base model price of $56,400.
Wow.
Competitors, Hyundai Ioniq 9 SUV for $58,953. Hyundai Ioniq 6 sedan, $37,850. And the Tesla Model Y SUV starts at $44,990. So it does have competition. Next week, I'll review the Toyota Supra with 400 horsepower through that BMW straight six in it. Woo! You like cars, race cars with a license plate on the back of it? Here is your ticket.
Go-kart.
Yeah. Hey, if you like to get Hey, we want to get to Jeff's car culture.
Okay.
The 5 longest tunnels in the United States of America.
Yep.
Do I really want to know
Well,
this?
when you're outside the longest tunnel in the U.S., you can't help but wonder, how did they build it? Or, what did it cost? How many people? Is it really an engineering marvel? Well, yes to all of that. Some of the stuff, you got to be a real good engineer to figure all that stuff out. So here we go, Michael. The Lincoln Tunnel is another tunnel under the famed Hudson River that connects New Jersey, forget about it, to New York. It's a massive 1.5 miles in length. It's the third largest traffic tunnel in that area. It's created off of the Route 495, and this is one of New York's most iconic traffic destinations. So what really makes the Lincoln Tunnel unique is the three separate tunnels that are involved. One was built in 1937, one was built in 1945, and the last one was built in 1957.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Lincoln Tunnel averages over 100,000 vehicles daily, and it's one of the most driven tunnels in the U.S. So the next one we have is the Ted Williams Tunnel, and it's a renowned tunnel located in the famed city of Boston, with a length of 1.6 miles. It's one of the longest tunnels in the United States, established in 1995. So when you're there and you're in the car park or all that stuff, you got to take the tunnel. Established in 1995, Ted Williams extension of I-90, which is the longest interstate highway in the country. The tunnel is owned by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and consists of 6 lanes. The tunnel has speed limit of 40 miles an hour. And it's a toll tunnel, and you can pay anywhere from 20 cents to $2, depending on where you live.
What?
Yeah, I guess the different accesses to different neighborhoods, they have to pay certain things to get on the road or get in the tunnel. So that's what they're all about. The next one, Mike, is situated under the Hudson River and is called the Holland Tunnel. This is the second longest tunnel in New York City, and it connects New York to New Jersey. Again, if you miss it, forget about it. The tunnel is a 4-lane tunnel that carries traffic from both I-78 to I-39, and it's about 1.62 miles in length. Clearly, it's the longest tunnel in the U.S., and the Holland Tunnel was first opened in 1927, making it the oldest road tunnel in the history of the country. And this one's pretty unique. Don, you may know this one, or you've probably been on it. It's in the Colorado Rockies. It's the Eisenhower Tunnel. It's 60 miles east of Denver on Interstate 70, and that's where the tunnel's at, and the highest tunnel in the world with an average of 11,112 feet. So it's up there. It's up high in the mountains. It runs through terrain, and the average annual snowfall from that terrain from November to April is 26 feet. So you've got a lot of snow around you, a lot of mountains. 2 tunnels measuring just a hair under 10,500 feet each direction, and it was finished in 1973. It spans 2 watersheds and the Continental Divide. The federal government purchased it a long time ago, and they paid 90% of the cost, and the city or the state picked up the 10%. Averages about 30,000 to 50,000 vehicles, so it's a lot, and it's pretty high up there. So if you get anything to do with altitude or tunnels, we can do it. Baltimore Harbor, Michael. This one is prior to the Baltimore Harbor. It's being built and placed on the list of the longest tunnels in the U.S. Baltimore's narrow streets were the only direct roads between the city, the south side of Baltimore, and Philadelphia. So this was built in 1940, and it was because of the terrible roads and everything. That's just pretty crazy right there. Construction, the tunnel began in 1955, and by that time it was pretty well built and over budget. It has 21 twin tube sections, about as long as a football field. So if you're into taking those tunnels, good luck. That's all I got to say.
You don't have to worry about me taking those tunnels.
Now, there's a tunnel from Detroit to Windsor, and that's a little under a mile.
Well, we've got one here called the Washburn Tunnel that goes underneath the Houston Ship Channel, and I just assumed I'd go on that either.
Oh, yeah. They leak.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but I'm real comfortable with that.